both for Ashok Gehlot and Vasundhara Raje, this is in a way their kind of last battle. They may see it as that. They may see it as their last
100%.
electoral battle, 100%. PKT Nambiar, could that mean that Miss Rajesh Scindia, if not supported as the face of the campaign by the BJP, could indeed join hands with Ashok Gehlot? This is the biggest conspiracy theory in Rajasthan that used to be spoken about in whispers that Mr. Pilot actually went public with.
See, there is nothing is impossible in politics. We have seen it in everywhere. But I don't think that is going to happen. BJP is predominantly very, very strict, and they know how to handle such kind of a crisis within the party. And I'm sure that if I think Ashutosh was just talking about that, they know how to handle an internal bickering, if at all, if there is it, and they will always listen to the high command in true spirit. Unlike in the Congress with the case, I'll give you one instance. In 2018, I think when the Ashok Gehlot was made as the chief minister, in my private conversation with one of the senior most leader of Congress, I asked him that, why not Sachin? Because the people like us, we have a fascination for the Delhi Lutyens. I mean, he's a very sophisticated, English spoken, that kind of a leader. But whereas the truth is that he do not have that kind of a mass base across Rajasthan. In fact, he may not be even able to gather 1,000 people in many parts of Rajasthan. That's a reality. And that time, the senior Congress leader said that, no, he deserves, but I think the time has not come for him. I think Ashok Gehlot is a seasoned politician. I think he should be given that position. That is the comment which I was given, because I was very furious that why not Sachin Pilot, because he was the PCC chief and etc. So I think Sachin Pilot should be a little bit more soft and wait. He's just 45, 46 years old. He has got a long political career, and on the other side, experience does matter in politics. I'm not saying that experience does matter. You need to work a little more. And most of the time, he was always in power. So just imagine, except this 4 or 5 years, he was either a union minister, he was an MP, or whatever it may be. I think he should show some more dignity and give some kind of an opportunity for the party to be the superior force, not himself. I think he's full of himself, like Sidhu.
Avinash, do you agree?
Yeah, I do. धैर्य रखो, but कितना धैर्य रखो ये कोई नहीं कहता. Nobody tells how long you have to wait. One more thing, what Mukesh said, and if you look at Rajasthan, it's been close to 3 decades that there have been only 2 towering leaders around. Now, how long would a new Turk wait? And I think where the Congress finds itself in a spot and is not able to find an answer is that after Ashok Gehlot, they could only nurture one Sachin Pilot. And we hear a lot of talk about there being so many aspirants in the BJP. But take one thing, they have got so many people who are aspiring, and if there is a clash, accommodations could be made. Today, take Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot out, there is no third leader who has been groomed. Whereas BJP constantly has been talking, even on your panel, people have taken 4 or 5 names. 5 years back, that was not the scene. There was only one name, Vasundhara Raje. So wait, but for how long remains to be seen. And there is one major problem with the Congress party. Move beyond both these 2 towering leaders, there is no organization in place. Now, even if the schemes of the government are great, they are attracting people. Which cadre will bring people back? So there is a lot of chaos, and between these 2 people, while the speculations are on that there might be a reshuffle and you could have Sachin as the PCC chief, or you could get the current PCC chief to be the deputy CM. There were videos which were where you could see Mr. Dotasra asserting himself on a local leader from the same area. So those fights can't be negated. There are too many promises that have been made internally in the party to keep the government together. That is also going to come back strongly to the Congress party.
So let me ask Shruti in conclusion. You made a very interesting point about how caste equations are now playing out at micro constituency levels in assembly elections, and that's impacting a certain kind of bipolar politics, but also politics for leadership within the same party. Whether we talk about Lingayats and Vokaligas in Karnataka, whether we now talk about sort of the OBC leadership and the Gujar leadership in Rajasthan. Point is taken. But what about the fact that in the Congress, and this point has been made repeatedly in the show, there's a certain kind of public public squabbling. And in the BJP, there is squabbling, but it isn't done in public.
Well, it's a
Not in
cadre-based.
this,
Well,
not in
it's a
this BJP.
cadre-based party. I mean, look, it's a cadre-based
Yeah.
party with a new culture of obedience, which is slightly different. Which is why I'm saying that it's entirely different from a kind of old-style political party which manages its factions and power politics and family firms, now for 70 or 80 odd years in the manner in which it has done. But I think what is, as I said, what is interesting is this now complete conflation between regional politics and national politics, and each is going to feed into the other in a much more direct manner. It has started with the Prime Minister himself, actually, as you said, opening up the campaign in Rajasthan today, and so we will see this continuing. And as a matter of fact, I think it's also instructive that the Congress, which is so much on the back foot, say about 5 or 6 months, it's a completely different kettle of fish. We are talking about 2024 being actually a contest of many, actually being a contest rather than simply a new anointment for it. So I think all this is kind of positive, but for me, the main point being that actually the regional parties or the regional sectional interests are now going to be conflated within the two national parties, and how the two national parties actually resolve these sectional interests or regional interests, that's going to be the future of Indian democracy. This is not Mandal 2.0 as we knew, as people are saying, in the early 90s, or those things have peaked. And I think whether it's Sachin Pilot or whether it is Gehlot, this is not going to be limited to one state. It's going to come next to Haryana. It's going to go to Bihar. It is going to go to Uttar Pradesh. And I think that's where I think a new chapter in Indian democracy has started. And I don't want to make too much of a point of here, but I actually think the Congress has institutional advantage in dealing with factional politics at multiple levels than, say, a cadre-based party, which is so centralized around one leader. And therefore,
Okay.
as I said earlier, the risks are actually much more with the BJP, because its national agenda is much more about uniformity and obedience, which would be hard for it to contain.
Let me finally give Ashutosh a brief 30-second in conclusion. Do you agree with Shruti that this is now going to be, before there are battles between the opposition and the BJP perhaps pushing for a presidential contest, the Congress actually hoping, and the other opposition hoping for an aggregate of state elections, there are going to be contests within parties, within states, that are actually going to have to resolve identity issues as well as caste issues. Ashu?
See, identity politics is very important in Indian politics right now. But I must say this, that if you look at if dispassionately look at Mr. Narendra Modi's scorecard, I think in terms of winning election, I will not give him more than 5 out of 10. In terms of the parliamentary election, certainly he scores more than 75% and 90%, whatever number you would like to pick. So he miserably failed in Karnataka. And his speeches in these Karnataka, his style of the politics has become totally stale and boring. Unless so, in national politics, I completely agree that yes, when he is an issue, then obviously people tend to vote differently, and that's why if you compare the votes BJP got in the assembly election and in the parliamentary election, there is a difference of more than 10% vote share. And that reflected in the last time also in 2019 in the same Rajasthan when the Congress has got a victory. Congress was totally wiped out.
Okay.
In Gujarat, in Karnataka, totally wiped out in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. So when Mr. Modi carries his cult and a certain amount of vote share, which nobody in the opposition parties at the national level does, including Rahul Gandhi. Yes, Mamta does the same thing in Bengal, but out of Bengal, she can't.
I think that's absolutely accurate. Yeah.